It's that rockabilly guy again, and I have another one here with me. Back in 1959, the same year my Honey Bun record was released, Carl Mann from Huntington, Tennessee, recorded a song called Mona Lisa. Now, I know you remember the song Mona Lisa, but you probably, if you hadn't heard it, you wouldn't think of Carl ever doing it the way he did. He did it in a rock and roll style, and it was great. And with Eddie Bush playing the guitar, the fantastic style, and W.S. Holland on drums, it was a great record. And it sold a lot of records. He was on American Bandstand and several other places on television. And he's sitting right here with us today in W.S. Holland's home in Jackson, Tennessee. I'd like to make him welcome to our Rockabilly Days show. Carl, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Thanks a lot for coming over.
Well, I'm enjoying it.
We've played a little music today, and you'll be seeing some of that a little bit later on in the show. But right now, Carl and I just want to chat a little bit about the old days and rockabilly music and just whatever else we can think of to talk about. Right. Tell me first, how did Mona Lisa come about? I mean, that was a really big record for you. You were on Bandstand. Every time I turned the television on, you're there somewhere on the radio. You're on the radio. Big record. How did that come about?
Well, we was playing a club up in Victoria, Tennessee, and Eddie, he was in Hawaii, and he heard the Nat King Cole version a lot.
I see.
And one night we were just fooling around, and we played it slow, and we had a lot of college students come down there from Murray, Kentucky, and they kept saying, you know, play something fast, you know. They want to dance.
I think I know what's coming. Go ahead.
So we started on Mona Lisa, just slow Nat King Cole style, and we got about two verses, or one verse into it, and we just stopped and just started off on it. Just Cole, we started off on it fast, up tempo.
Well, you come right in on the record. Well, Mona Lisa,
yeah,
you know, that's the way you did it. You just did the slow part and then stopped.
Yeah.
I can imagine what the crowd did when you did that.
Yeah, they really responded. You know, in fact, we had to do it about 10 times. And the club up there.
That was really a good record. I mean, it was different. It was unique. It didn't sound like the rock and roll. It had the rhythm and everything, you know. But of course, your voice, Eddie's guitar playing, and W.S.'s drumming, and that really all came together to make a really great record. And as long as there are music fans, you will be remembered. You know that, don't you? Your name is going to turn up somewhere 150 years from now if the world lasts that long, which I don't think it's going to, and I don't think you do either. At the way it's going right now, it can't last that long. But then you did another one. Oh, before we go on to the next one, I understand that Nat King Cole wasn't really too happy about the way you had done his rock and roll, his pretty Mona Lisa song.
Yeah, he wasn't, I guess, too enthused about me leaving some of the words out, you know, changing it, getting off meter a little bit, and things like that. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, I believe he wrote to Sam Phillips and tried to get
that's what I heard,
drawn from the market, you know. But Sam said no way, so we, you know, and stayed out there with it.
Here it is, 40 years later, and your version of it is probably the best known of the two, at least among rock and roll fans. I know it is. Of course, the other one wasn't rock and roll at all. You live in Huntington, Tennessee. I've been through there a time or two over the years when I was on the road. And your next record was, second record was Pretend.
Pretend was also another Nat King Cole song.
That was a Nat King Cole song.
I guess we really aggravated it.
I don't guess you ever got around to Rambling Rose, did you, to rock it up?
We thought about it.
Did you?
In fact, I love the old Nat King Cole songs, and Eddie, he was really a big fan of that too, and he had worked with this group, and like I said, he was in Hawaii in service over in the early 50s, and but we just started pulling them out of the bag. You know, we did Too Young and Pretend, and I think there was a couple more that we worked on, and there might have been another one we cut. I can't remember all of them right now.
I know that album you had out, well, I guess it was the same year, was it 59, maybe early 60?
Yeah, early 60.
The album came out and had all that on it. I know I probably knew every song on that album, and I think I still got the album at home. One of these days I'll bring it over and let you autograph it for me. But the song we were talking about earlier, what was the name of that? Rockin' Love.
Rockin' Love, yeah.
Yeah, you did it slow, and then you started up and speeded up real fast, you know. And I did it the same way at a rehearsal session I was telling you earlier. But when we went to put it on the CD, they cut off the first part of it, the slow part, and just started with the fast part. So it was pretty short, my version of it. What are you? You're in the lumber business, you said, you told me?
Yeah, I got a little sawmill business.
Sawmill?
Huntington, yeah.
Well, I've done a bit of that myself in
right?
years past, yeah.
It's hard work.
It's hard work, but it's kind of satisfying, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I guess it's like music. They always say, you know, sawdust gets in your blood, and music gets in your blood.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I was raised up, you know, and my dad had a sawmill there when I was a kid, you know, and when I'd come in off the road back, even when I was playing music all the time, I'd have to go to work. Dad would get me out of bed and let me go to work.
Yeah, well, daddies do that, you know. Mine done that to me a time or two, and I have to admit I've done it to my sons a time or two, too. And you're doing gospel now a lot. You do a lot of gospel music.
Yeah, the last tour I did, the Rockabilly tour, was in 1984, and we did a European circuit. And I think we went up to Helsinki, Finland, maybe did a few.
I was there last year.
Is that right?
Yeah, played Helsinki last year.
And came back down to London and wound up in Holland. And that's the last one I did, 1984. And then a couple of years after that, I came back to the Lord and I started going to church, and I got saved, and I've just been working for the Lord ever since, trying to do
gospel music.
You know, all the gospel I can.
Yeah.
And in fact, this is the first Rockabilly, you know, get together that I've had, you know.
So me today?
Today.
First time?
I'll take that back. We did one, we went to the Sun 50th anniversary alumni party that they had back in December.
Oh, in Memphis.
Memphis. And
that was at the Sun Studio? Yeah,
old Sun
Billy Riley and Sonny Burgess were telling me
right,
about that.
and Mark
And I was going to try to go, but I had to play that night. So, of course, I'm not the Sun alumnus, you know. I was recorded one session there, and it never got released, so never actually had the record out on the Sun. Well, I want to wish you good luck with your gospel music. I don't think there's anybody anywhere that doesn't like gospel music at least a little bit. Because it reaches to the roots of what we are.
Right.